Hi, I'm Hazel. It is almost Saturday, so it's time for a new vlog. This week, Blizzard released an audio drama in a couple of parts, I'm pretty sure, on YouTube, detailing the story of Alleria and Turalyon and where they've been, and that's all I know because I haven't actually listened to it yet. My plan for that is I feel like at some point I'm going to be actually doing the world quest that I've been meaning to do that I haven't done, and they've gone away, and there's new ones now because that's how world quests work. But at some point I'm going to be doing world quests, and I'll be like, you know, this is the moment. This is when I find out what the heck is going on with those two people. I found out after doing the Seat of the Triumvirate that I like Alleria now because she is on like Team Purple, and as a Shadow Priest I proudly champion Team Purple, so we're on board with her, but now I need to figure out what's going on with the rest of them, so I should really catch up with those. I really like that Blizzard is experimenting with sort of different types of media for their storytelling. I really like these kind of little companion pieces that kind of enhance the world of WoW, and I like that they're, you know, free on YouTube. You don't have to like buy the novel or anything. You can see a cattail here. So I'm looking forward to listening to those, and I am also excited to see kind of what they do next. Like maybe in the run-up to the next expansion they'll have, like, you remember when they were doing the run-up to Warlords of Draenor and they came up with those, I've already forgotten what they were called, but they were so cool, with the Kargath and whatever. Like, I never would have known anything about Kargath if they hadn't told me, with like all the pretty drawings. So I hope they do something like that before the next expansion too, to kind of help set it up, because nothing gets you hyped quite like knowing what's going on. This is why I didn't want to have the camera so close. The reason why the camera is closer is because it's either like this close or like really far back after having moved 3 monitors and like squidged it behind my desk, which I've decided is not worth it. But now you can't see my kitty. I mean, I guess I can just like, but am I gonna do that every time? I think the answer might be yeah. Who are we kidding? Of course I'm gonna show you my cat. This week in WoW we have Brewfest starting, so Brewfest 2017 is underway, and I will not be doing a video this year because there are no new collectibles. I can tell you that right now. The video that I did last year is very accurate. You can just replace any 2016s with 2017 and you're good. So there's an experience buff that you can get, of course, at 6:15 a.m. and 6:15 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know why that wouldn't be Realm time, but apparently it's Pacific time. You can listen to a speech at the camp and get a 2-hour experience buff, so if you need experience for leveling characters, you can, you know, get in on that. And then there's like the sausage hat. There are toys and stuff and mounts and whatever, but if you had them all last year, you're gonna have them all already, so I'm not gonna be covering that again. And I think I have everything, so I can probably just skip it, which is nice. It's kind of relaxing to have a holiday come around and be like, you know what, I'm good. In upcoming raid news, the second wave of raid testing is officially getting underway. Pretty sure that's going to be actually the last wave of raid testing, so this is pretty on schedule from where I kind of had stuff in my head. I would predict, and of course we don't have any official dates yet, but I would strongly predict that we're going to get Antorus the Burning Throne released the Tuesday following BlizzCon. I think that's quite likely. We're gonna have just very recently finished all of our artifact knowledge by then. People will be about unlocking their traits in the Crucible. Maybe not. 75 might take like a long time, but you know, they go to BlizzCon, they announce the new expansion, and then they go, and you know what, that's gonna be a while, so you can do this new raid on Tuesday, and they can't do it before that because you don't want to like release a new raid and have all of your raiders, or well, a lot of people go out of country for BlizzCon. I don't think they do that, so I would assume the Tuesday following BlizzCon for the new raid, and we're getting back into raid testing, so I'm gonna be a little bit busy with that. I've already got some good footage of a lot of fights, but there are a couple of fights that did not work on the PTR, like just serious frame rate issues, so I'm looking forward to getting a better look at those to use in some videos, and that means I really need to get cracking. I really want to finish all of the Family Fighter pet guides before I start doing the raid guides. So I might start releasing like doubles in a day if I can spit them out fast enough. So we'll see about that, but I am excited to have new raid content on the horizon because I miss raiding with my guild. We took a very early break, so it'll definitely be good to get back when that time comes. In Blue Post this week, Blizzard has addressed some concerns with the Netherlight Crucible, and the response, I won't read out the whole thing, it basically boils down to, Simmer's gonna sim, and if you didn't sim, you don't need to follow your heart. So I was thinking about that, and I'm not entirely, like, completely 100% satisfied with that response, and it took me a while to kind of pin down why, but here's the thing. If you were, say, following your heart with talent choices, for example, you might follow your heart with a talent choice, find out that the other guy in your guild who also plays your spec is doing more damage than you, and maybe next week you switch your talent choice. With relics, you don't really get to do that. You are locked in to those choices on the relic once you've made them. Of course, you can get new relics and make better choices next time. And they did mention in the post that with the new raid, everybody's going to be getting new relics, so it's okay to mess up now because you'll be able to figure it out later. But it's a little too permanent for kind of casual player trial and error, in my opinion. Another issue I had is that a lot of people that are simmers, like for example me, I sim my gear now and then. I sim new stat weights for myself every like month or so, and if I have like 2 trinkets and I'm not 100% sure which one is better to wear, I will sim those, but I'm not like doing daily sims or anything like that. I am spending way more time, you know, looking and calculating which relics are better for relics that aren't even good yet. And the fact that you have to do that for every, like, you get a lot more relics than you might get trinkets, and with trinkets, it was just a little bit easier to figure out because there were less variables. With relics, you can have a priority list and you can kind of ballpark it, but because there's 3 tiers of it, you know, you can have a really good trait here and a kind of okay here and like a 75% good trait there, and it's not as easy to wing, and because it's not so easy to wing, you end up using calculators and simming, and doing that for every single relic you get. Like, it might be an upgrade even if it has lower item level, so you know, you get a relic from a world quest, you get a relic from everywhere, you know, you get relics from Argonite, and at the end of the day you've got 5 or 6 relics in your bag and you're like, well, time to go figure these out. And it's gotten to the point that even though I could be getting relic upgrades from my Veiled Argonite, I'm not buying relics. I don't have time for that. I just buy trinkets and hope for the best, because I guess I could probably get an upgrade with those and it's easier to figure out. So I'm not completely satisfied. I think the Netherlight Crucible is fine. I'm gonna use it. I'm not like angry about it or anything, but I do think it's a feature that they are most likely not going to be bringing with them to the next expansion, and I think I was more excited for it on paper than it's turned out to be so far. However, it is early, and maybe in like a raid environment where you're getting less relic upgrades, wouldn't you be getting more relic upgrades? Maybe, my hope, my fingers crossed hope, is that an add-on happens, or maybe like an upgrade to pawn or something like that, that does the math for you in-game and assigns a relic an aggregate score. Like, basically, I want gear score for a relic, so instead of saying, you know, with this trait goes before this trait, but this trait goes before this trait, I just want to say, this relic is a 72%, and this relic is a 67%, so wear the first one. Like, I want just a really easy to parse number in-game without having to leave and use third-party tools. I'm sure that is mathematically possible. I betcha an add-on's gonna do that. Maybe it already does, and I've just missed it. I would want you to be able to input weights, like trait weights for them, because that way you can get sort of the better weights from your own class community, so maybe it would work well in Pawn. I'm not really sure. I don't write add-ons. There's reasons for that. But fingers crossed that something like that happens, because that would be really a huge quality of life upgrade for me if it was easier to figure out in-game without having to go to a spreadsheet every time I get a relic to figure out whether or not it's okay to disenchant it. Because I'm walking around with a lot of relics. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. But I got a lot of relics in my bags, and I want to get rid of them. My bags were so clean going into the new patch. And now it's just relics and relics. And then some of those Demon Eye farming items. What else am I got? A lot of pet goodies. Yeah. Questions from this week. Kristen asks, are you going to do the running of the gnomes in WoW this year? Man, that's a good idea. I'm already kind of set up for it, aren't I? Because I do play gnome. I've never done it before, but I am aware of the event. I love seeing the screenshots on Twitter every year, and now that they've actually added it to the game as a micro-holiday, it's probably easier for me to keep track of when it is, so I don't see why not. I don't want to commit to it, though, because there is a very strong chance I'm going to forget, but if I remember, and I can, I don't see why not. I think that would be fun. Brian asks, would you ever consider doing an on-location outside at different places in your city? So I'm assuming you mean like a meetup, like a meet and greet. I think that would be... I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm really scared of people. I am so scared of people. I'm kind of thinking that maybe the first time I do something like that would be at a BlizzCon if I ever get to a convention. I feel like that would be a more comfortable place to do it because there are lots of other people doing the same thing, so I can, like, look at how other people do it and make sure I'm not doing it wrong. I don't know. I'm just really, really socially anxious about the whole thing. But I'm definitely not against the idea. I just wouldn't hold your breath because I'm scared of people. Money asks, can I call you mommy? It's a good example of why I'm scared of people. You can call me whatever you want, just not to my face if you're gonna go with mommy. That make me deeply uncomfortable. So yeah, that has been my week. I will be streaming this afternoon. The raid testing I think should be wrapped up by 3, so I don't see any reason why we can't stream. I'm gonna try and do that Poor Unfortunate Souls achievement on stream if I remember. I've been forgetting for like 3 weeks in a row now, but I'm gonna try. So that should be fun. Look forward to Mucho's pet guides this upcoming week, and maybe even over the weekend, depending on how much I can make myself work without falling asleep on my desk. I want to get done with those, and there's so many of them. So that's what's going to be going on next week. Check out the Fisher Friends guide that I put up last night if you haven't seen that already and you are at all interested in finding out more about the Fisher Friends at N73. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye. Bye.